Here with head baseball coach Tim Bellew. Tim, why don't you just kind of tell us, coming off the most wins since you've been here as head coach from last season, what are your expectations for the 2012 season?
Well, I mean, I feel like that we're going to be better. I think we're more talented. Wins don't always relate to necessarily just to talent. It's going to also depend on how big of a family we can be and how big of a team we can become, and as a group, not just individuals. I mean, obviously, individuals performing skill tasks, feeling ground balls and making pitches and swinging bats and things like that all come together. But we got to be a family, and we got to understand that, accept roles and things like that. And excuse me, it's a challenge. I think our depth on the mound is better. One of my concerns is our bullpen, as it was last year. Last year we started out really well in the bullpen, and then it kind of faded. Many of those reasons because when you play in the NSIC, you start that midweek rotation where you're playing 6 games, and suddenly, guys that were able to be in your bullpen are suddenly thrust into starting roles, and you become more depleted. And do I think we have a little more depth? Yes. Do I think we have enough depth? I guess we'll answer that somewhere around the second week in May.
You're indoors for 4 months almost, practicing, trying to get ready. What are your early season expectations before conference?
I think we've gotten. Anytime you're indoors, obviously there are advantages and disadvantages. Not having the ability to be outside and just play, I had an old high school coach that used to call it playing in the atmosphere. That sounds kind of crazy, but in many ways he's right. I mean, being outside in the elements and playing in the sun and in the wind and the skies, and it's a different thing. And for outfielders especially, there's only so many drop steps and drills and footwork and things like that you can do, and it kind of becomes monotonous. We kind of reach, you've heard dog days in August, for Major League Baseball. We're kind of in the dog days of February. Now we're getting to the exciting point. We're a week away from playing. The last 3 weeks have been competitive because we've been doing a lot of, our simulated scrimmages in the cage, fully charted, just like games. Speed of the game scrimmages we have in the rec center, things like that. But it's still not quite the same, It's just not quite the same until you get out on that field and compete against somebody else who's trying to beat you. Not that we're not trying to beat each other when we play. We are. But it's not the same when you lose as when you lose or win when you're playing against somebody that's going after you. I think, to answer the question fully, I'm excited to get started. I'm excited to see what some of these kids can do. I have a good idea what some of them can do. There's some things that with some of the new kids that they haven't played at this level. They're talented, but they haven't played at this level. They haven't played the rigors of a schedule in the NSIC, especially the baseball part of it, where you're playing so many games in such a short time, and in different types of environment outside, and meaning weather, and that plays a toll on the body. The bus trips, the late nights getting back. We have a little advantage because we play one more weekend at home this year than we did last year. That's an advantage, but we're still on the road a lot early, So it's just how tough they are, I guess, more than anything. How tough they are. And it's not toughness from a physical nature, it's toughness from a mental nature.